When I was young, my dream was to be an Olympian. I've achieved it, and now there's another dream, and hopefully be an Olympic medalist. Olympic gold medalist is an even better sound. Let's see, I'm doing everything that I can to do that. I like it. It's a perfect conditions to train, but I mean, being in Italy is a little bit comfier. I know more people and like logistic-wise it's easier, but my poles are made here, so I need to go here and pick them up because it's quite expensive to fly them, and the chances of them getting broken is high. So, you know, c'est la vie. In a day, I mean, I train most of the time, so I don't really have a lot of free time. So like today, it's only morning that I'm free. So I do my laundry, prepare everything. I guess my habit as a Filipino, I always air dry it. So I bring straps for my poles. You'll see it there in a few that like I have a place to hang my clothes. You guys wanna come in? Yeah. Yeah, please come in. So this is the place. You can see a chessboard there because Vitaly likes to play chess.
With you?
We play chess from time to time. Ta-da! Anticlimactic. So this is my place. This is where I sleep. This is like my stuff. Yeah.
And then who stays with you here?
Antonio's staying here. Hussein's staying there. Vitaly's staying in the other room. Everybody's in one flat. Yeah. Anto!
I speak English very well, but...
Come in, Data. Good one. Yeah, that's my coach. How was it?
Huh?
How was it?
Not bad, not bad. Like...
Let's do this. I'll just drive first.
Pero what's your favorite part of like traveling?
I used to love it. I used to, not as much anymore.
Kailan nag-stop?
3 years ago, like it gave me perspective of like my life and like what I actually want to do and like what's important for me. So yeah, then it became a little bit clearer and like this is cool. Don't get me wrong. This is like a lot of people would love to do this, but imagine doing this 365 days a year, 24/7, being an athlete, doing the things that needs to be done, not what you want. And it's not like I'm staying with my family or like, no, I'm staying with my coach. If I need to go to a place because there's some competition at high level, it's not like, oh, I want to go there. And I think I've been in the circuit for a good 6 years. I've been in that level. You know, the excitement of being a rookie is definitely not there anymore. So yeah, I mean, it's fun, but the hassle of the airport and with the poles, traveling with poles, it's not something I look forward to.
Yeah.
You know. What makes Filipino athletes great is that we can handle those things. It's harder. Don't get me wrong, it's harder. We're probably gonna have more Olympians, but the reason why our Olympians is special is they went through harder shit. And they actually went out and win. And that is out of this world. Those are tough guys. things that Filipinos endure are not really the norm, you know, all over the world. So be able to do that, handle that. You can handle a little bit harder trainings. You swallow a little bit more inconvenience. You deal with more unnecessary problems, and all of that just means that you're a better athlete. You're a better person to know how to adapt to things that happens. And I think pole vaulting is such a sport that that trait is very well valued. The reason why I am the way I am, the way I see the world, is because I've grew up in Tondo. I commute an hour and a half to go to my university and study. So it's those things, me growing up in a country, that makes me want to compete for this. And that's the truest of sense. The traits that you built in Philippines are, I would say, the real Filipino, you know? That traffic that we're just so used to, the long queue and, you know, the train lines and the delays here and there. That is the real Philippines, I would say. And that's what quote-unquote real Filipinos need to deal with. And having all of that and be able to knock on the doors of the greats of the sports, win medals in the biggest stage, it shows Filipinos can do it. I got open into it at a very young age. So my dad was a pole vaulter back in the day. It was a pathway for me to get scholarships back in high school. Then I was like, damn, I actually love this. Like, I actually want to try and see if I could be one of the best, or I want to be an Olympian. I love what I'm doing. I love the sport that I do. And there's that curiosity that just like says, you gotta go for it. And yeah, when that happens, you know, you stick to it and things unfold. And to be honest, it's been one heck of a ride. It's not smooth, bumpy, nonetheless, but yeah, it's brought me to places I've never even think I would be and achieve things that I never thought I could do. So yeah, who would have thought, you know, a guy from Tondo would be #2 in the world in jump 6 meters. I just like competing. It's fun for me. I like that feeling of there's something in line, and it wasn't like that all the time, but it was just like the more I've been in the circuit, the more I felt like, okay, there's more importance into this. Like there's that itch, I guess, that, you know, the thrill of it. Competitiveness, I think I've always been. It's just a different manifestation, I would say.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to jump the highest bar possible. And it's a math problem, a gymnastics problem, and a sprinting problem to figure it out along the way.
It's like the Beyonce of field events, you know what I mean? Actually, we're the only event in track and field that has an implement that we need to help us perform. Nobody else does that. We actually need that specific implement to help us get over those bars. So I feel like we have to be a little bit more technical and a little bit more efficient, and we have to know what we're doing a little bit more than just running straight down the runway or jumping off some board. So for us, it's a lot harder because we have to learn not only how to control our bodies, but also how to control our implements.
When I started the circuit, it was not, I was like really good. So I was good in Philippines. I was decent in Southeast Asia. I was a nobody in Asia. I was non-existent in the world. Always been an outsider, I guess, when it comes to the European circuit, because the sport never really had a dominant figure in Asia. So all I knew going into meets is like, I want to compete. I want to try and see what I can do, get a better height. So that's how I kind of got into it. I was like a very strong athlete in Asia that I can actually compete in Europe. No, I grew up, I would say I progressed and evolved into the athlete that I am now in Europe, competing with these guys.
World Championship medalist from the Philippines, Obiena.
first met EJ in 2019 at the Zurich Diamond League final, and I didn't know who he was. I just saw that he was a Filipino guy, and I didn't know that had pole vault in the Philippines. That's really cool. And then I heard that he'd gotten some scholarship from Sergey Bubka and the IOC, so I was like, okay, so clearly he's got some talent for sure. He's been kind of a force to be reckoned with, so that was cool to see him on that stage.
So I remember EJ from a long time ago when he was 15 or 16, string bean, skinny as could be, pole vaulting in a place that I've never seen before, and all of a sudden I start to see him face to face several years later, and I have had the unique perspective to see him grow through his whole career, before and after, hopefully.
Well, actually, hilariously enough, so Sergey Bubka, one of the best and one of the first ever greatest pole vaulters of all time, he was coached by Vitaly Petrov, who is Ernest Obiena's coach. And I've been told since the day I started pole vaulting that my jump looks a lot like Sergey Bubka's. We both have a very narrow grip. We both come in. We're both about 6'4", 6'5", swing straight to our shins, and then we just kind of extend over the bar. And I feel like I've been told for a very long time that my jump looks a lot like Sergey Bubka, which is hilarious because Vitaly Petrov's method is try to get everyone to look like Sergey. It doesn't matter if you're tall, you're short, you're black, you're white, doesn't matter. You got to look like Sergey. You got to run like him, jump like him, and you got to lift like him. So it's fun to see that he's trying to turn everyone, including EJ's imitation of the pole vault, into a Sergey, and he's doing it very well.
I'd say around 2018, 2019, I realized, okay, I'm there. I'm knocking on these doors. I'm getting into Diamond League meets, and like, this is the cream at the top. Like, this is the best of the best. So that's maybe, I would say, the time I realized, okay, I can compete with these guys. But I've always been very competitive, so it's not like, yeah, we'll see this and that. No, it's always been like a competition, and it's just those moments I started winning and I started competing in higher level competition. I started performing. Then I realized, yeah, I can keep up, and if not, beat these guys.
All other athletes have missed, so the only athlete remaining is our champion from the Philippines, Ernest.
Would you say that pole vaulting is kind of a lonely sport because you only do it alone and with your like lean team?
It's definitely different, I would say, than team sport. You can't depend on the other person during competitions, or it's all on you. But I think that's the beauty of it. But why I say it's not really lonely is because I have my coach, I have my physio. We go through hardships together. We try to resolve problems together. We find and, adjust the training based on the circumstances we're dealt with, and that I think creates a bond and creates a team that I can trust. So is it lonely? It could get lonely. Is it a lonely sport? I wouldn't say so.
Я познакомился с ним в 2014 году. Меня привез папа с советом Сергея Бубки, который, в общем-то, я тренировал в свое время. И он говорит, посмотри этого мальчика, и мы будем, и попробуешь, сможешь ты с ним работать. Начали мы работать, и вот на протяжении 10 лет мы, в общем-то, все время вместе, все время мы ищем возможности реализовать возможности EJ, Обиены, и видим, что этот труд не пропал даром, потому что Эрнест улучшает результаты каждый год. Если бы там некоторые мелкие травмы, были и крупные травмы, я обязан просто взять для развития прыжков в шестом мире также этого мальчика, чтобы, в общем-то, помочь и отсталым странам, которые не культивируют прыжки в шестом, дать им направление развития прыжков в шестом. Поэтому я сразу согласился. Парень был высокий, достаточно в беговой подготовке был неплохой. Но, конечно, в шестом нужно было работать много, что доказало время. Время показало, что меньше чем 80 лет нельзя подготовить хорошего шестовика в плане того, что он будет конкурировать с мировыми атлетами. Я хотел бы одно. Я не боюсь за подготовку физическую, я не боюсь за подготовку техническую. Я хочу, чтобы то, что он уже умеет, реализовал на этих играх и преподнес Федерации легкой атлетики Филиппин одну из медалей Олимпийских игр.
Your question, why you working? For this I work with my country.
With my relation with boys, no, with my athletes, because this life. Oh, sorry,
It's okay, coach. Don't say sorry. Don't say sorry.
I'm very strong. Okay.
It'd be good for you to go and to lie down and to rest a little bit and to walk your straighter a little bit and to rest. Yeah, that's
You're up front. I like it. You see? But that's good. That's his role. My role is to say great. His role is.
I was like, no, it's not ready at all. But again, Ridley is who he is. He's tough. Thing is, he said before the competition, he's like, divertimento. In Italian, it's more like just enjoy the meet. But then I needed to remind him when I was warming up, he was like still trying to figure it out. I was like, you told me to enjoy, so chill, sit down and take it easy. So that's good. That dynamic, I would say, is pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy for today.
We have a bet now.
What's the bet?
If I lose 4 times of this,
Ah.
I get 10 euros. If no,
Is it that slow?
See?
Higher, coach. Higher, coach.
we're supposed to be on my side.
He made me. What can I say? I trained him for the guy. This is gonna be our 10th year working together. I was a nobody. I barely jumped 5 meters, and now we're knocking at 6 meters. What can I say? He made me, and I owe my career to the guy. And yeah, probably when he retires, I retire too.
It's not hard to choose Philippines to compete, at least for me. It wasn't that a lot of deliberation was put into it. Because I grew up in Philippines, representing the country is a privilege, not a given fact. It's not your right even. You know, I used to think that it was my right being one of the best athletes. It's just a given right, that's how I felt. But then it is a privilege to represent a country doing the sport that you love. I would not say that it should be always a privilege, but I think it should be standardized. Like you said a while ago, my story is like a fairy tale. It shouldn't be. It could be a little bit more accessible, easier. Just like hard work. Yeah, hard work's good, but you can work as hard as you want. If you don't have the resources, you can train pole vault as much as you want. If you don't have the right poles, you can't jump. And that's what I mean, and it opens a lot of doors, and you know, definitely changed my life and my perspective, like the way I see the sport, the world that I live in, the things and the virtues that it taught me. I would want to be able to share that. So, but having gone through what I've gone through, I've learned that it is a privilege to wear that vest. You can compete in a lot of different ways. You can compete professionally, but competing for your country that raised you, that you know you grew up in, you lived the life of being a Filipino, and representing that in the biggest stage. It's priceless because you know what brought you there is that community. What brought you there are the traits that you grew up in, and to be able to showcase that I'm a born and raised Filipino in the biggest stage and win. That is what I would say representing the Philippines is all about. This is a kid from Tondo who didn't even win Palarong Pambansais in the biggest stage and able to compete with the best of the best. I wanted it that bad that I'm able to do it. If I can, you can. Because this sport has showed me a lot, and it has given me things that I've never thought I would have. And I've been so blessed to have experienced what I've experienced, and that's all because of this sport. And I'm not saying it's only pole vaulting. I mean that in the grander spectrum of things, but in my own way, I would want them to experience what I've experienced. This is something I did not plan, I did not expect. Things fall into places, sometimes not perfectly, but that's the journey, and that journey itself is the gift. And having that option to choose to do what you want to do, be able to go through the ups and downs, I think that's a gift, and that's an option I hope everybody can take.
A miracle happened today, I would say. So we're taking it one jump at a time today. It was not really, the goal is not to win. I mean, it is, but at the same time, we're just taking one bar at a time. So taking the win home with this circumstances definitely is a good page in my book.
Okay, last question. Ano nang next?
We're flying to Europe. We're gonna see next competitions in Paris.
Thanks, EJ. Congratulations.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys. See you there.